Hello, I'm Pep Rosenfeld, and welcome to this Salesforce episode of Leading Through Change. This one will focus on service. I think most of us think about service being all about that human connection, and sometimes it seems like standing 1.5 meters or more away from each other just won't cut it when it comes to service. That's why this episode is going to look at a couple of big questions. How can you deliver human-centric service and empathy even in a digital format? How can you deliver service from at home or anywhere? That's why this episode will feature a conversation with Celia Stogart. She's the product owner at Brand. So you get ready to enjoy this episode, and I will go hunt for virtual ducks in the virtual woods.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca McKenzie, and I'm part of our product marketing team here at Salesforce. And in today's session, we're going to be looking at how you can scale your service through a transforming world. And I'm so excited to share that we have Sylvie joining us from Brand, who's going to be looking at how they really lead through change during this challenging time. And this is just our forward-looking statement. We're going to be showing you some product demos today. So this is just a reminder to please make any purchasing decisions based on products and services that are currently available. And we have a great session lined up for you. So I'm going to start off by covering the impact that COVID-19 has had on customer service today. And then I'm going to hand over to Sylvie and Thomas. They're going to be having a discussion on how Brand is remaining agile during this time of tremendous change. And then we're going to round off our session with Dan, who's one of our lead solution engineers. Dan's going to be giving you a demo of some of our products and show you how you can use Customer 360 for service to scale your service in a transforming world. And so today we're really in the midst of an unprecedented crisis. Not only are we facing a public health crisis, but we're facing an economic crisis in multiple markets around the world. And this is having a huge impact on businesses and a huge impact on businesses in different ways. Some businesses have had to close their doors and shut down, while other businesses are forced to ramp up quickly due to unprecedented demand. And I think this quote from Rasmus Werner, who's the CEO of Brand, says it best. The continued uncertainty around both the duration and the consequences of the pandemic requires that we all demonstrate flexibility. And he's right. In today's world, businesses are having to adapt at a rapid pace. But this rapid adaptation can put service organizations in a really tough spot. Service leaders today are trying to figure out how to manage this huge influx of customer inquiries while still balancing being able to respond quickly to those inquiries and deliver the best customer service. They need to think about how they respond both empathetically to their customers and how they continue to support their service agents and their employees at this really difficult time for both customers and employees. And so service agents are facing a lot of questions today, and a lot of these questions conflict. They're trying to look at how they can be as productive as possible and scale their service as fast as possible, while also focusing on things like employee well-being. And they're looking at how they can increase productivity while still managing customer satisfaction. And finally, businesses are trying to focus on how do they stick to their original business strategies and stick to their business values and include and continue to have streamlined communication between their departments, but remain agile and really adopt that flexible approach that they need to in this time of change. And that's why I'm so excited to introduce you to Sylvie, who's a product owner at Brand, and Thomas, who's one of our strategic account executives at Salesforce. They're going to be having a conversation of how Brand really leads through change during this turbulent time. Over to you, Sylvie and Thomas.
Thank you, Rebecca. My name is Thomas Grønholdt, and I'm account executive for Service Cloud in Denmark and Norway. And first of all, I want to welcome and thank you, Celia, for taking the time.
You're welcome.
I'm especially interested about you moving from a total different industry into the financial services. Tell us a little bit about that.
In Brand, we work agile and always trying to make the best minimal viable products to make sure that we make the right solutions and improvement. It's very important for us that we work flexible and review as often as we can with customer feedback. as you talked about, Thomas, before I worked at Allen, I worked cross-country for the Danish retailer Jysk. Having to install customer service in multiple countries in Europe. In Jysk, I learned to use Salesforce standard and focusing on the transparency in system and processes. Going from Jysk to Allen, I brought with me the importance of clear communication, streamlined processes, and the need for effective systems. So I think in customer service, I have always met competent, flexible agents that works really hard and often in many systems. Customer service agents are used to change and at a high speed. So I think that's a big strength for customer service in all lines of industries.
And in this situation we are in right now with the COVID-19 and all that, how has service changed inside of Allen and maybe also across the other business lines?
For our customer service, our customer service has been working from home since the Danish lockdown. In a couple of days, we were up and running 100%, and I would almost say 110%. We have been installing screens and setting up home offices for all our employees. This has only been possible because we prepared Allen for this lockdown since ultimo February, and we made the right decisions earlier on. One of them working with Salesforce. And in the beginning, the customer service director, I talked to him, he was very skeptical. Would it be possible to maintain customer satisfaction, service level, and productivity with 200 agents at home? And yes, it would. Also, all developer teams has been working agile from home and kept up speed and quality. And it has been amazing to be a part of an organization that has been willing to change this fast and done it so well. And I'm in deep respect of the families that are balancing homeschooling, working, and maybe also missing all of their social life.
I remember first time we two met, you had a very strong focus about moving all the whole application landscape for customer service into cloud-based offering. Could you say put a little bit more words around why that has been so important, and maybe also how you then now in this situation has taken the benefit of that?
Yeah, of course. Having all systems, both backend and front-end, cloud-based, made a transition like this very smooth and without magnificent difficulties. We are still working at the same system and we are following the same processes. We're just drinking a different coffee in the morning and maybe not wearing socks at work. So it's same, but still different. And it has been easy, and it has not always been easy, and many family I know are struggling having to answer both the phone and maybe homeschooling questions, but we didn't have to implement new processes or new system. It just made the transition easier. So we moved offices, but customers still interact with us, and we are still helping all customer and giving the best customer service we can do, and on all platforms. That's important also to say. So we didn't use a lot of energy in systems and processes, and therefore we've been able to focus on collaboration. And some team leaders and agents actually feels that the follow-up time have been more efficient and even got them closer, but still being apart.
And then just the last final questions from my side before I let you go. That's, I'm just thinking, I've been a customer from Allen for many years, and I'm very curious about, how can I actually see the change that you are making, let's say 12 months from now as a customer? Yeah,
we can always try to think about what's going to happen in the future, and I choose to believe that this is a time that can help us question what we did before. Sometimes we just do things because we have done it like that forever, And now we are able to question ourselves, is it actually the smartest process? Our insurance agents can't visit customer anymore, but instead they are having digital meetings. And I think we're looking into a trend of digital meetings in the future. And I would think that we will see a more digital world. I also think that the Danish population, groups and the society, and many small businesses and big businesses actually feels that we are getting more aware of our surrounding, and the solidarity has gotten stronger. We help each other. We also experience that in Allenbrand. We're in this together, and it connected, this time connects and has connected Allenbrand much more, regardless if we are in different departments or lined up businesses. We help each other, and so we help each other so we can help our customers. So that's the focus that we are having. And we're already seeing that customers are using digital platforms even more. And we will support and help them on this transition, because it is a transition to going from what we knew before to what we know now. And we want to make sure that they can trust us in this journey and in all the interactions with us.
But that sounds amazing. I will look forward to follow both you, Silje, but also Allenbrand.
Thank you.
Forward.
Thank you so much, Thomas and Sylvie. I thought it was so inspiring to hear how Allenbrand has really stayed unified during this time of change. And we heard from Sylvie on how Allenbrand has used Salesforce and Customer 360 for service in order to be able to transform their service and scale during this change. And that's really what Customer 360 for service does. It allows you to quickly adapt your service business to unprecedented change. So whether you're focusing on stabilizing your company during this time, if you're starting to think about how you get back to work and get your service workers back out into the field or back into the contact center, or you're thinking about how you grow your business, Customer 360 for Service platform allows you to support you during all of these different aspects of your change. With Customer 360 for Service, you can optimize your service from home as well as from a contact center or out in the fields, and then scale that service across any channel, whether that be self-service, WhatsApp, messaging, or chat. And because Customer 360 for Service gives your agents that 360-degree view of the customer, agents are able to build more trusted relationships with customers because they have all the information that they need at their fingertips. And then finally, our platform is incredibly agile, allowing you to be resilient no matter what change happens within the world or within your business. And I'm so happy to hand over to Dan, who's one of our lead solution engineers. Dan is going to take you through a demo of Customer 360 Service. Over to you, Dan.
Thanks, Rebecca. My name is Don Jones, and I'm a Service Cloud specialist here at Salesforce. So I wanted to continue this session with a live demo showing you guys how to scale your service. And I'll give 3 examples. First off, I'm going to showcase Salesforce's assisted self-service solution and how that can connect into service on any channel right there and then. And that service is actually connected with Service Cloud to get a Customer 360 overview for a complete overview and a much more efficient and scalable service organization. So here we go. Now allow me to introduce to you our customer Rachel. So Rachel, she's a customer of the bank, and she just got her purse stolen. Inside of the purse was her wallet with money and credit cards and so forth and so on. So she logged into the bank's self-service portal to report that her card has been lost. Now, once she logs into the self-service portal powered by Salesforce, she can now see how her entire engagement can be displayed. And not only that, Salesforce allows to, in a self-service session, connect the bank's back-end supporting applications with a whole new level of engagement activities, such as consuming process automation steps and reaching out to service right there and then. But Rachel quickly finds the report a lost card action, and this actually allows Rachel to step by step enter the required information to report her card stolen. Now, since the bank already has a lot of information around Rachel, they can take advantage of that and present that right there and then in that self-service session, meaning that customers using Salesforce's self-service portals can have an increased level of self-service. That could be done through dynamic updating articles from a FAQ library and quick access to these process automation steps. Now, Rachel just realizes that, wait a minute, without a credit card, how am I going to pay for my grocery shopping later today? So she needs some additional advice, and she needs it fast. So she decides to reach out to the service center. Now, the bank has enabled all kinds of different messaging channels for Rachel to consume. So for this matter, she decides to go on a chat. She fills in some additional security information, and that allows her to interface with the bank's virtual assistant. So that means that the self-service session has now become an assisted self-service channel. Now, the bank's virtual assistant sits on the entire Salesforce platform, meaning that I can reuse everything we know around Rachel, her engagement, previous conversations, previous chats, phone calls, and so forth and so on, in order to serve her better. Connect that with a dynamic FAQ and quick access to process automation, and she is really set for success. All right, so the virtual assistant guides her to the option of enabling mobile payments as an alternative solution. But while the bot now looks at Rachel's details, we can identify her previous lost card report. So that gives some additional information directly in the chat window, and Rachel can just go ahead and accept to be being further serviced by a financial advisor in the service center. Now, since the virtual assistant sits right on the Salesforce platform, that means that the now assisted self-service session could seamlessly transition into a manual supported bank. Now I'm taking the role of a financial advisor over at the service center. And just when I've logged in, I have this landing page, which gives me a sense of transparency around what's going on in my service centers. I can follow up on important KPIs and also pick up on important training recommendations that my supervisor uses to manage her virtual service teams, given the conditions that we're working in. Now, Rachel's chat request has now been pushed over to myself as a service advisor, and with the configurable screen pop, you can see and follow everything that has happened from the moment that Rachel started to interface with the virtual assistants. And since again everything is connected from the self-service session into the virtual assisted conversation, we already now make a prediction around what will this conversation be about. So we already prepared the next best action for me as a service advisor, and I can go ahead and activate enable mobile payments by just accepting that process automation flow. So for security purposes, I'll just need to verify the customer's phone number and click next. This offers the capabilities of, again, interfacing the bank's supporting application, but gives the speed and agility that's required in order to be working effective out in the service centers. Now when the account has been enabled for mobile pay, I can give Rachel the good news. By using quick texts, I can have a pre-defined answer to meet the customer expectations, so that Rachel has the information right there and then, all in one smooth session.
Thank you, Dan. So Dan showed us how easy it is to create a connected service journey for your customer.